got started back in high school when I was carrying the Banner and Tennessean newspaper, and I got tired of pedaling a bicycle, so I bought me first a Whizzer motorbike, and then I got a little more fluent and got me an old Harley, a 1936 knucklehead. And I just found out, well, I enjoy riding motorcycles. So after I married and of course started a family, then I thought, well, I'll get me a little business on the side. Maybe it'll support my habit. And so that's what I did.
The business started in 1960. I started in 1954. So I really have grown up in the business.
I signed up with the old Indian company actually in the fall of 1959, and they were no longer manufacturing Indian motorcycles, but they were importing bikes from England. I became a matchless motorcycle dealer, but dealing through the Indian company.
Those were the Bridge Avenue days. That was back in the days when we had the British brands, Norton, Matchless, and BSA.
It was just about 1,000 square feet, and I just ran it in the evenings and on the weekends.
We were right across the street from a Bunny bread factory. But every day when I would get out of school and come to the store, or even during the summertime, there would just be this aroma of fresh baked bread that just permeated the air. And that lasted until about 1965.
Business was good enough that I bought a lot over on South Church Street, right off of Broad Street, and built a new building, and it was about 2,000 square feet.
Ironically enough, this time was across the street from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
By then we had BSA motorcycles also, and in 1966 we added Yamaha.
We used to be in the camping business, the camping trailer business. So that was one of the reasons that we needed a larger facility.
I had about another 1,000 square feet to that building. I bought the Honda business and combined it with everything else.
So in 1972, we moved really just a few blocks closer to the square. We moved from South Church Street to the corner of Vine and Maple,
where the library and City Hall is now.
I believe I knocked over some mopeds there as a young little kid, but I was probably 5.
We added Kawasaki along the way. Then in 1980, we built the building where we are now, the first phase of it. Built about 15,000 square feet then.
And of course, where we're at now encompass several different properties which we've joined together over the years.
Quite honestly, it was a hard struggle the first 10, 15 years in the business.
I think the unsung hero of the Sloan family is probably my mom.
My wife actually ran the business while I had my day job.
When I think about her already having a 5-year-old at home, pregnant with another one, and my dad come in and having this great idea that he's going to turn his hobby into a business.
Papa worked at Murfreesboro Federal for about 20 years before he went to do the shop full time. So my grandmother was there every day. You know what they say, behind every great man is a great woman. And you know, she's like the foundation to this place. She was the everyday person there while Papa was at the bank working from, what are banker's hours, noon to 4? So he's probably there earlier than that. But you know, she would be the one making the decisions, and of course after work he'd come over and finish out the day. You know, I think it's pretty neat to have a person like that in your life, to be your partner and to help you make those tough decisions in those tough times.
And just the way she supported him, I've always admired. She was a hard worker.
She'd come down and literally run the store. 2
kids at the store, a motorcycle shop for that matter, guy's world. Here's this little lady running a show. And I also heard that like she would take the deposit up to the bank or go see Papa, and everybody on the square, because that's where all the business was done back then, everybody on the square knew her. So I could just see her walking up there on the square saying hello to everybody, and everybody, you know, saying, there goes Sharon, she's running that motorcycle shop. It just kind of makes me laugh to think about it.
And she still works behind the scenes somewhat today in those quiet little ways. She gets things done.
A lot to live up to, but she's pretty awesome.
Kurt and Julie both, my son and daughter, they worked in the business all the time. They went to high school.
You know, running around in my socks at night, sliding on the tile, jumping on motorcycle crates like they were mountains when I was a kid. Riding 4-wheelers behind the building, kicking up a bunch of dust. I'm sure that it went through the whole building, knocking over bikes and working here.
Now my grandson, Matt, he's in the business and the sales manager.
First off, I'll say that if my son acted like I did down here as a kid, he will never come down here.
I guess one unique thing about it is that this is the only place that any of them have ever worked, so they don't even know if they've got a good job or not.
The main reason that it's still here is Pawpaw.
I'm really excited about Indian because it will sort of make bookends on both ends of my career. We started with Indian, and now I feel like that hopefully we'll, as long as I'm here at least, we'll still have Indian.
I would say for every rough period, there's always been a product that gave us a spark, just like I think with Indian. This is the spark to rejuvenate the store brand, the town, the industry, the local customers. This is just another spark plug, I think, that carries us just that much further. But I think with the way Pawpaw's been through his whole life, smart with his money, he doesn't drive fancy cars, he doesn't have a fancy house. Product, brands, and a consistent owner who has said we're not gonna go crazy, or not go crazy personally, or risk losing it all. So he's protected, 50 families for the last 53 years. And I think that that's kind of trickled down through the generations. I just want to, personally, would like to keep people employed and families for them to live and grow, and for us to be here another 60 years.
We enjoy being that destination dealership, but we get that part where it's really about the ride.